Alright everyone, hello and welcome in. So for today's video, I'm going to inject some optimism here amongst us in the community, and I think we've been getting a little overly pessimistic these last few weeks leading up to the regular season, which kicks off in just 7 days, because of the things that have transpired during training camp, the preseason, the things that we have witnessed, what this team is capable of and surprisingly not capable of so far heading into the regular season, and that has caused some pessimism overload in my opinion. So let's have some optimism today, and we're going to talk about the defense. And the point of departure for this video is where somebody said on Twitter, they claim, because, people love posting hot takes on social media with, barren disregard. They claim that the Vikings defense this year will easily finish as a top 10 unit for the 2021 season. And I read that, and first I thought, whoa, that's kind of spicy. Easily is doing a lot of work in that statement. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, hey, this could be legitimate. So there's going to be a lot of prediction videos that I'm going to post here in the upcoming weeks, and this is kind of the first one. We're going to do, the pick'em video where we pick all the games for all the action for each week. We're going to do some end of season predictions. We're going to do a video where I have Vikings oriented predictions, and this is kind of the lean into that transition as we head towards the opening day game against the Cincinnati Bengals for week 1. So today let's talk about the defense. Can this defense finish as a top 10 unit in 2021? Surprisingly, I'm leaning towards yes. Now, we've had our discussions about the offense. I'm on the record of having said that I think that the offense for the Minnesota Vikings is a prime candidate to regress, and not that they're going to be bad, but I don't think that they're going to finish as high as they did and maybe not even be as productive as they were last year. So it's really hard to repeat very good things, right? It's really hard to be a repeat MVP award winner. It's really hard to go back to the Super Bowl and win it a second time in a row. These things are difficult. Just because that they happen in front of our eyes from time to time doesn't mean that it takes a lot to accomplish that. So I do believe that the Minnesota Vikings offense is a prime candidate to regress. For the defense, though, this is an easy bounce back year, right? Because there's nowhere to go but up. They finished 28th ranked in the league last year, and they have spent some serious money on the defense this year, and they have brought in some veterans that should do a lot better than the people that we had last year. I mean, just think about the side-by-side comparison between the 2019 defense and the 2020 defense and the 2021 defense. It's almost night and day. The other thing that this situation has going for it, the defense, is that Mike Zimmer has had a solid record of defenses since he joined the Minnesota Vikings in 2014. Now, I know we all like to pick on him last year for saying, oh, I've never had a bad defense. Up until that point, he was right. He was correct. Each defense that he has coached since joining the Vikings in 2014 has been top 10 or better, except for the first year, which was 2014, where it finished 11th. And really, we're nitpicking at this point just because it is one spot outside of the top 10. So we have this, perfect set of, what's the word I'm looking for? The evidence is there. It's staring us right in the face. That Mike Zimmer is capable of coaching this defense up and making it a top 10 unit once again. And we have a much better group of guys this year that are going to be starting for this defense compared to what we had last year. We're not throwing any rookies to the wolves. We have some savvy veterans in the secondary, which I think was the Achilles heel last year. And I think the most important takeaway, which we've talked about ad nauseum over the last couple months, is that this defensive line is light years ahead of where it was last year in terms of talent. Think about it, right? Because the starters this year, Michael Pierce, Danielle Hunter, they weren't there last year. Dalvin Tomlinson wasn't here last year. And then Stephen Weatherly, Everson Griffin, and DJ Wanham as a rotational set for the other defensive end position opposite of Danielle Hunter is going to give fits to opposing offensive lines and coordinators. So I think the defensive line, really, the success of this defense is going to depend on what they're able to do. And given the talent that we have at that position, I mean, Sheldon Richardson is a backup. Like, are you kidding me? Last year, we were starting Jaleel Johnson and Shamar Stephen. And then, of course, Danielle Hunter couldn't play. So it was Odenigbo. And then who else was on the opposite side? I think it was, oh God, I can't even remember who the starting defensive end was on the other side last year. That name escapes me completely. But this year is going to be much better on the defensive line. The front seven is good. You know, Anthony Barr looks like he's going to escape missing time with whatever injury that he currently has. Eric Kendricks is a top 10 linebacker. You can't really argue with that. We just have to hope that Nick Vigil or whatever linebacker starts opposite them can produce at the same level that Eric Wilson did last year. So I think that is a great argument for how this defense can be top 10. We have proof of concept with Mike Zimmer over the years coaching top 10 defensive units with the exception of one. We have a much improved talent pool when it comes to the starting defensive unit this year as opposed to last year. And thirdly, there's nowhere to go but up, because honestly, what are we talking about here? We're talking about last season coming off the 28th ranked defense in the league. If we are close to that or under that for a second straight year, I think it's going to be easy to point fingers and start the blame game and see some people receive some pink slips. So there's nowhere to go but up. The defensive talent is better, and Mike Zimmer has a pedigree for coaching top 10 units. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Can this defensive unit be a top 10 for the 2021 season? I think it can be. I think that the evidence is there for it to happen. So let me know what you think. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.